nice romance too. Far from home, all I got is you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second installment of Porch Talk Presents Weekly PORCHases. I am the $100 Vansky, and I am joined, as always, by my co-star of Weekly PORCHases, Brett from We Need Wrestling and Wings on Wings. What's up, Brett?
Co-star? Oh, you said co-star. I feel special now.
I know, well, you know what it is? It's like Todd really wanted to be here, but unfortunately, he doesn't understand any of the things that I buy. And I feel like Joe doesn't have the patience for me to go through such a long list. Normally, when I do a long weekly purchases, you can tell that Joe is just checking his Twitter DMs. So I feel like it's best to bring somebody on who is interested in all this stuff, you know?
Listen, man. We had a Wings on Wings recording this past Friday, and Todd was a special guest, and him and we had some words about you building a brand behind his back.
Well, the good thing is we can run
Not
down.
happy.
We can run down Todd as much as we want on this because he'll never listen. He only listens
That's
to
right.
Wings on Wings.
I was saying that's the only podcast he listens to, and he's completely genuine when he says that.
I know. Like the only other time Todd listens to podcasts is if I give him a timestamp of specifically when he's put over or mentioned on something.
Well, I'll put Todd over right now. He gave me up by him. I don't know what place he gets it from. It's like the best blue cheese I've ever had, and he gave me some blue cheese on Friday, and I've already finished like half of it. So Todd, my brother in blue cheese, the bastion of blue cheese, he is the man. I appreciate Roker.
Well, again,
old Fig Daddy Cool himself.
there we go. I will get him the timestamp of this so that he can hear it. Don't you worry.
Good.
But yeah, Todd told me all about his appearances on Wings, and how there's another appearance coming up next week that was definitely recorded after the first episode.
Oh, absolutely. I totally heard you guys recap it on Porch Talk this week.
Exactly.
Yes,
So
my favorite podcast.
I'm glad you listen. You know what? We have a small but loyal fan base, and that's all you need, you know?
Small but fierce. I like it.
And what is it like that small fan base will be the match that lights the flame that starts the inferno?
Dude, so spoiler alert, I have ad-free shows. I subscribe because I got sick of listening to advertisements on Conrad's podcast network. And I was listening to him and Bischoff, and like just those two arguing about like your small but loyal fan base versus your casual fan base. And I'm like, I'm going to blow my brains out if I have to hear this discussion more. It's driving me mad.
See, that's the thing. The soon-to-be-named network needs to do a better job of bringing in the casual podcast fans. You know, we just have the diehard.
Yes, casual podcast fans. There's plenty of those out there. Yeah. Especially in the world of wrestling, you know, not the muddied world of professional wrestling or anything.
Exactly. Like just somebody opening up their iTunes or Apple Podcast, I guess, or Google Podcast, and just being like, what's this podcast thing everybody's talking about? And just, you know, hoping to start with We Need Wrestling or Porch Talk or something.
A wrestling podcast? Who would have thought of that?
Yeah. It sucks that we're not the first, you know, but what are you gonna do? But anyway,
we could be the last if you want.
I'm working on it. I'm trying to kill the podcast business, but anyway,
I know this.
The reason why I brought you here is, as I mentioned at the top, I just have way too many weekly purchases this week to fit on a standard episode of Bad Odds. So I reached out to you and I checked to see if you made some purchases. And like I said, rather than shoehorning it in all at the end of Bad Odds, despite the fact that this is the year of financial responsibility, I got a lot of things to go over.
Good, man. I'm excited to hear. I have a few purchases, and on the purchase section on my show, We Need Wrestling, with DJ at the Dooge on Twitter. It's just, hey, what'd you buy? And we just rattle it off. So yeah, man, I'm into this. So let's get it cracking. What you got for me?
I just want to say, like, every time it gets to the end of your show and I look at the timestamp and it's like there's a minute and a half left and you haven't gotten to weekly purchases yet, I get real sad, because this is my baby. I was the first person to ever have a weekly purchases segment on his wrestling related
As-
podcast.
As far as I know, that is the truth. Yes.
Exactly. So like when I hear it on We Need Wrestling or I hear it on Final Wrestling Place, like it gives me a little bit of a feeling of joy, if you will. But anyways,
It gives you a little tickle. I like it.
exactly. All right. So anyways, without further ado, so I'll just kind of give a couple quick purchases and I'll throw it over to you. As you may have seen in the most recent Pro Wrestling Tees crate, hopefully nobody thinks this is a spoiler considering the crate came out a week ago, but
Oh boy.
I bought the Shockmaster Micro Brawler from there.
Now, did you get the normal version or the chase version?
I just have the normal one.
Okay.
Partially because the normal one, he has a silver helmet and the chase is a gold helmet. And my memory of Shockmaster is a silver helmet. So
I noticed that. Why did they go with a gold helmet?
I have no idea because it's not like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm a little fuzzy about that era of WCW, and that's why I brought you on. But I don't remember like him ever having anything than that one silver helmet.
No, it was just a silver sparkly stormtrooper helmet. That's all he ever had. It wasn't. Yeah, that's weird. Wow. Why did they go gold? I'd say I'd like to know, but ugh for that company.
I'm not reaching out to Pro Wrestling Tees.
No, absolutely not.
Maybe more on them as we get into the show later. But
Interesting.
When that originally came up as like releasing last week, they first pop up in the major group for, people want 20, $25. And I looked on eBay, they're around that same price, but I was like, nope, I'm going to wait a week. And then I see them being like, okay, $18, $17, $15. So I ended up getting one for $14 shipped. So I'm happy.
Oh my God, that's cheap.
Yeah. Because I think a lot of the people that buy those crates, if it's not their guy for the Micro Brawler, they just want to get rid of it and get some of their monthly money back,
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I know I've never bought one personally, but I know DJ, he's bought a few just for the chance on what the brawler's going to be. Because I know they preview like, oh, there's going to be this person, that person. So, you never know what you might get with a brawler. But see, I thought that you might have went for the chase to match your Shockmaster that you have on card.
Well, the Shockmaster that I have it's a silver helmet, so they match.
Yeah, I just thought maybe like, oh, the packaging, they're both upside down. Maybe we're gonna go with that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
No, yeah, but now that you said like the gold helmet, that makes no sense.
Yeah, you can actually, because Micro Brawlers, you can slide them on the packaging without like technically opening it. A lot of people I saw just flip theirs upside down in the package. So I might do that.
Oh, I would do it. Pose it next to the Shockmaster one, and then whenever there's like some weird 80s wrestling con going on, go get them signed by Uncle Fred Ottman.
Absolutely. Yeah, you know what? I might just do that. Couple other quick things that I got. I'm sure you might have seen, I don't know if you collect these or if you've ever gotten the itch, but the Super 7 reaction figures, which are the tiny, like G.I. Joe sized figures. You ever see those?
Yeah, I have what is it? I think I have like a Misfits one for like their like Crimson Ghost, and I know like DJ he has like a Misfits one as well, I believe. But yeah, I see them all the time. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, so I try to like not buy too many of them. First of all, because I think they're kind of overpriced. They're like $18, which for like
Agreed.
a tiny figure that has no articulation, I'm like, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole. But what got me starting to buy them was some of the Transformers ones. And my rule was, because they're all mass produced, like you can still go into a Barnes and Nobles or a BAM and you can buy Series 1, and they're on like Series 6 now. So they just never stopped making them. But my rule was I will only buy store exclusives, and I will only buy Optimus Prime, which has actually gotten me to only have 4 of them in my collection. And I bought a new Optimus this week from Target, which is like dead Optimus where his chest is open. I know this is all over your head because you're a young boy and you missed all the Transformers stuff. But.
So, I did miss Transformers stuff, but so this is going to be like super niche. There's a hardcore band from Erie, Pennsylvania called Shockwave.
Okay.
And they are known as Decepticon Hardcore. So I know my ins and outs of the Transformers just from like in between their snippets of songs they used to have like sound clips from the old cartoons. So I know a couple, two, three things when it comes to Transformers.
Oh,
But
nice.
that's awesome that you got the Optimus. So
Yeah.
it's only Optimus you do, not no Shockwave, no nothing like that.
So when it comes to store exclusives, they've only been doing like, and they're mostly all just repaints, or this one's metallic, this one's monochrome, that type of deal. But all of the exclusives have been Optimus or Megatron, so the baby face and the
Okay.
heel. And
There you
like
go.
I like a lot of the Decepticons, like Soundwave and Starscream, but Megatron was never my guy, you know. So I
Okay.
was just like, I'll get the Optimus. That'll be my rule. And if I see any Soundwaves, if they ever make any exclusives down the road, I'll pick those up. But it's allowed me over the course of the last, I don't know, 3 years that they've been making these for Super 7 to only buy like 5 total. You know, I think that's a good rule to have.
I think so too. That's a very good rule to have because you can get lost in that sauce real quick.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. One last thing before I throw it over to you. Star Wars Vintage series, which are the little tiny ones, you know, not quite the fully articulated like Black Series, you know, the ones that are on
Hmm.
cards. Speaking of Target exclusives, I bought a Target exclusive Boba Fett from the old cartoon droids, like back in like that came out like I guess right after A New Hope. They did a cartoon special with like
Oh
R2
God,
and
I've never even heard of that.
yeah, like I've never seen it, but that cartoon is I guess was where Boba Fett debuted before Empire, so he has like a different paint scheme. And
Oh, okay.
Target is releasing a vintage series and then a black series, but the black series hasn't come out yet. So I was like, just to kind of scratch the itch, I got the vintage series, which is like a really cool figure. I'll actually shoot you over a picture in a second, but um, I don't buy every Boba Fett that I can find, but if I see them, I'll grab them. You know what I'm saying? And
Sure.
I'm actually shooting over the picture to you now, but eventually it'll get to you. I know you live in a Faraday cage the internet cannot penetrate.
Dude, I'm telling you, like DJ could tell you too, the internet at my house is not the best. I got a good podcast. Oh wow, look at that.
Yeah, so
That's
if you
pretty
take
cool.
yeah, so like especially if you look at the picture on the box, it's very crude. It's the that's the
Yeah.
basic like early 80s animation style.
Huh. I have never even heard of that. I'm gonna have to look into that more. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Like I said, I think it was like a
I
Saturday
like
morning
this.
cartoon.
Very, very cool. Good for you. That's some dope stuff. Boba Fett's never been my guy, and he never will be. But I
All right, cool. What about you? What do you got?
all right. So for weekly purchase number one for me, um, they did the All Elite Wrestling Fan Fest this weekend,
Oh,
and with the Fan Fest comes a bunch of reveals.
yep.
I'm sure you and Joe are going to talk about those on add-ons this week. But they did put a few things up for pre-order, and one that I did go for just because I love the guy, and it reminds me of my childhood watching wrestling. And well, now too, to be truthful, I went for the ringside exclusive Tony Schiavone.
Nice. So did I, full disclosure. That was going to be one of my
Hey,
purchases later, but
look at look at that. We cross over there. I love Shivani. I love his podcast. I think he's great. I love that he loves pro wrestling again. I figured, you know what, man, I gotta get Shivani. I didn't get JR Excalibur, but Shivani, I had to do it.
yeah, like obviously it's his first figure ever, which is really a head scratcher, you know, that
Yep.
he never got a Jack's Classic Superstars or something like that, you know, back when they were making figs of everybody. So it's long overdue. I did think about for a split second buying the Jim Ross, but I'm like, I haven't loved Jim Ross since like 1999, you know, so
Yep.
I didn't need it. And if the Excalibur was out for pre-order, I would have thought about it. But I was just like, nah, just the Tony Schiavone's good enough for me. So I'm looking forward to that. Um, they were talking about on the major pod this week, like whether or not the glasses were molded into the head or if it was an additional head. I actually hope that there is one head without the glasses and one head with glasses, and the one with glasses has earrings. I think that would be the best. You know, so you
Yes.
kind of have old and young Shivani.
Yeah, you could see what they should have done, and that's smart. Alternate head with no glasses, no beard, so you could have WCW Shivani.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that with the beard. Yeah, they
Oh,
just
that'd be
throw a
so
bunch
cool.
of them in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree, man. I love Shivani. He's like maybe my favorite commentator. Like, well, probably easily my favorite WCW commentator. I love him. So I was like, you know what, man? Yeah, it's an announcer, but I got to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I didn't have any love for Shivani back in the day, but like now AEW is giving me more of an appreciation for it. Because a lot of the WCW Shivani, especially kind of towards the tail end, I feel like that was phoning it in Shivani. You know, he just didn't want to be there anymore.
See, that's like maybe my favorite Shivani because he was so over everything, and he ended up hating the business, and thank God with Conrad's podcast and everything, it kind of brought him back, and now we get to hear him every week, so that makes me very happy.
Absolutely. So were there any other ringside or like exclusives or just any other AEW figures that were revealed over the past weekend that you were interested in that maybe didn't go
Oh,
on pre-order?
dude, there's so many. Oh God, there's Danhausen. I got to get a butcher. That's LVAC alumni, the
Yeah.
butcher.
Well,
Um,
the Blade is an LVAC alumni as well.
yeah, and I asked DJ. I said, "Is it wrong with me if I only get a butcher?" And his response was, "If it makes you wrong, I don't want to be right." So,
Well,
uh,
here's the thing. I want the Butcher and I want the Bunny. So I would kind of feel weird if I didn't get the Blade.
I totally get that. But I feel like I need a big butch. Let's see what else was there. Well, definitely like the Kenny and Malachi Black Supremes. I'm gonna get both of those. Um, Weird with like what they're doing with the one CM Punk. I guess it's a Walmart exclusive, which you're never gonna see that.
Yeah, you'll have to
Um,
buy that in the group.
yeah, geez. Oh God, what else was there?
Well, I have a list in case any of these ring your like remind you of things that were unveiled that I want. Not necessarily a comprehensive list, but just the things that I need to get. Um,
Okay.
Unrivaled 12 Jamie Hayter.
Oh, there you go. Yep, that's a must buy for me.
There we go.
Big fan.
Unrivaled 13 Danhausen, as you said.
Hmm.
And then Unrivaled 14, I might just have to just do one of those things where you can buy the whole set because that is Butcher, Blade, Bunny, a new Orange Cassidy, which I'm sure it'll just be a new T-shirt, but I don't care. I'm gonna buy it, and Swerve Strickland.
Oh, that's right. That's the one Swerve's in.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I'll
Keith
get the
Lee's in there too,
Swerve.
but I don't need the Keith Lee.
Do you not like Keith Lee?
Oh, I mean, I like Keith Lee just fine, but he has 100. I mean, I'm exaggerating. He has a bunch of WWE elites that I could get if I wanted one. Where this is
Yeah.
Swerve's first like non-basic.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, I remember the night Keith Lee debuted in AEW, I went right on Amazon and got one of his elites for like $15. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm with you on that. But yeah, I'll get a Swerve too. I love Swerve. Man, he's so good.
he is not as cool. Oh, sorry, I was about to say he's not as cool as somebody, but I meant to say he's cooler than Hobbs and Starks.
Hey, now, come on.
I put up a poll, a scientific poll, and Swerve won.
Dude, I have the Hobbs and Starks in my bedroom as we speak. Not them personally, I wish I did. But the figures, and they're great. I'll tell you what, like a lot of those figures from that last AEW series that came out in person, so much better.
Yeah, like that Eddie Kingston looks a lot better in person than it did in pictures.
That seems to be the running theme with them. I don't know if it's just bad photography or whatnot, but even like the Thunder Rosa, dude, it's so good in person.
Yeah. Some other things that I added to my want list that were brand new announced. And I'm not 100% sure on this, but Supreme Series 3, Penta and Ray Phoenix. I had said that I was going to be a
Yep.
Supreme completist, and I'm like, I kind of need them, you know?
Yep, I'll be getting those. I love Penta, Phoenix, whatever. I like Ray Phoenix. Don't kill me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be getting both of those because they're sweet looking.
And it's from that steel cage match they had with the Bucks from like maybe 4 pay-per-views ago that stole the show, no matter what anybody says, you know?
Yeah, they come with the tag belts, the jackets, like the headdresses. So those are must buys for me.
Yeah. And Unmatched Series 8. This is just, I mean, not a clean sweep, but I need the Malachi Black, the Brody King, and the Buddy Matthews.
So I'm definitely gonna get the Brody. I'm definitely gonna get the Buddy. But the Malachi, I think I might just wait for
The Supreme.
the Supreme to come out. Yeah. I don't see why I would have to get the Unmatched. I don't think what's gonna be much different because that Supreme comes with like 4 different heads.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, like, is the Unmatched going to be like suited Malachi, maybe? Also, suited Brody King or Brody Lee. Definitely will be buying that as well.
Oh, yeah. You know what? That was on my list from the last set of reveals, but they just showed that it was in a suit this week. You're right.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
hope
so
that's not a
definitely
goddamn
be getting
chase.
that.
That's all I'm saying. But yeah, and then I have Owen Hart, the ringside exclusive. How you feeling about that?
Yeah, I'll be getting that too. I know I was listening to Majors this week and they were like, that D Freedom dude was like ripping it apart.
Yeah.
But I'm like, hey, it's an Owen Hart figure and it's a ringside exclusive. And yeah, I have to have it.
Yeah. And I think they said, I don't know if they were speculating or if they had seen something that I hadn't seen, but they said that the Malachi that came with Brody and Buddy was suited to like save on deco hits. Or that it could have
That
been.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll make sense. If that is suited, I'll just skip out on that one.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what it looks like when it comes out. Cool. But yeah, I think that's it from the reveals, unless you have anything else from that. That's the only one that I pre-ordered. I know some other stuff went up for pre-order, like the line that has Taz in it and like the new Wardlow and stuff. I passed on that stuff.
I was kicking around getting the Taz kind of as like a joke.
Yeah.
But it's also like the most expensive one out of that group, and that makes me real mad.
Yeah, they
so
gouge
I'm not gonna get that.
Anytime it's like a first time in the line, so to speak, or a character that you've been waiting for a long time, they add a couple bucks onto that figure,
Yeah, that's dirty, scummy, and I hate it. But got to pay the suckers premium.
Exactly. So I pre-ordered the Shivani, and in order to get the free shipping, I like to do a little bit of combining, because it's like sometimes I don't want to buy like a $30 figure on its own and then have to pay like $9 shipping. But I'm like, well, if there was things that I was going to get anyways. So I pre-ordered the To the Moon Cameron Grimes ringside exclusive as well.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. Wow.
Remember when Cameron Grimes was like really over and he was the focal point of a television show and you couldn't wait to see what he was going to do next?
Dude, like I often, whenever I see a clip of like what NXT is now, I just sigh. Like, man, that I used to have so much fun. Like takeovers were like a big event for me. I couldn't wait for them. And to see what it is now just bums me out so much.
Yeah, I mean,
but I do love Cameron Grimes.
Yeah, there's only so much heavy lifting Cora Jade can do on that show,
I don't know if it's Cora Jade doing all the heavy lifting. Shout out to the emotional queen herself. What the hell's her name? Gigi Dolan.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think they both own an hour of that show in my eyes.
Well, I used to slot Nikita Lyons into that spot, but some things over the weekend, she may have been revealed as her new nickname, Booty Giuliani. So, yep, she's off my list. That's
I
unfortunate.
saw somebody call her MAGA the Stallion.
Oh my God! Oh, Thicky Steamboat, we hardly knew ye.
All right,
a shame.
Yeah. All right, back to another purchase. Speaking of watching something on AEW and running out and buying an old Elite, I watched one of my favorite matches from the pay-per-view this past weekend, which was Death Triangle against the House of Black. And even though, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I just said okay.
And I realized, well, I didn't realize, but once again, it's enforced that obviously everybody in House of Black is so goddamn cool, but I needed every Buddy Murphy Elite or higher. So I went and bought the really shitty Elite 84, which is the Buddy Murphy as Seth Rollins' disciple. I bought it on Amazon. It was like $16.
Oh boy, that's quite the purchase, man.
Only has
Oh,
he only has two elites. His rookie elite, he had a chase. So I mean, technically, you could say he had three. But I have the chase of his rookie, and then this one, and then whatever they come out with from AEW. You know?
yeah. I wanted to get like his first elite, but I just passed on it for some reason.
Mhm.
And now I'm kind of happy that I did. So I'll wait. Oh man, you bought that, didn't you? Oh,
Yeah.
Adam.
Yeah, I bought it right after the pay-per-view. What are you gonna do?
Hey, nothing. Hey, you know what? Your fault. Follow your own rules, right?
Yeah. One more thing, and then I'll throw it over to you. And this isn't so much a purchase as it's an opportunity that I ran. Um, I went on a bunch of doll safaris this week, and everywhere I looked, I found Batistas, Ultimate Batistas. I was like tripping over them. And I had already hooked up everybody who wanted one, so I didn't have to grab one for anybody. But while I was at the last Target that I was at, they had the Ultimate Edition Alexa Bliss. And yes, I'm turning off my Amazon Alexa next to me so it doesn't go nuts while I'm talking. This is a figure I've had since it first came out. Oh, shut up, Alexa. No, I can't say that again. That's a figure I got when it first came out, but I ordered from Ringside and it was in terrible shape, which is the Ringside way. Like they shoved it into a priority.
Surprise.
Yeah. So I had said that when I saw a real one in the wild, I would just buy it and then be like, oh, turns out I don't need this. I'm just going to return the damaged one, you know? So I did that. I did a little bit of a harmless
opportunity. I like that.
A harmless fig swap.
Did you end up buying that Sami Zayn fig swap for Mead Marcalis?
You know what? I didn't, but I went back today to return the damaged Alexa, and it was still there. I was like, "Ooh, maybe I should get it."
Dude, when you sent me that, I was going, "What in the world is this?"
I put that in the major group too, and it got a lot of play. People love that.
Yeah, I love me a fig swap. I hate it, but oh, is it funny?
Yeah, especially when it's well done like that. There was a lot of work. It was a Sami Zayn head, Baron Corbin body, and somebody said that it was like one of the Hardy Boys shirts.
Oh boy, wow! Why would you get rid of one of the Hardy shirts? That's weird.
Yeah. Somebody said that like the Hardy shirt was worth more than the Mean Mark figure.
Hey, now show some love to Mean Mark. I love Mean Mark.
Yeah. All right. So what else did you get?
So it went up yesterday on Ringside, and this is one that I've wanted this forever. It was originally released in Legends 5, and like you go to eBay and it's just ridiculously priced. And I know all the collectors are like boo-hooing over, oh, it's gonna lessen the value. You know what? Thank you, Mattel, for re-releasing this. So I got the babyface Bam Bam Bigelow from the new generation with his cool flame jacket. So I'm real pumped about that. I'm a big Bam Bam guy, so I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, I said in the group chat with you and DJ that I was like, the ECW Bam Bam that came out like maybe a year ago at this point. I was like, that's enough for me, you know, just because I have a Bam Bam. I'm also a little bit worried, like just because they showed the picture on Ringside of him wearing that like big collar, doesn't mean that the eventual figure will have that, you know.
Well, listen to the majors. I'm pretty sure Cardona confirmed it.
Okay. Well, that's Broski. You got to take him at his word. He's never steered us wrong.
Well, that's true. Just like, you know, there's only going to be one-time printings and, you know, totally that there's not multiple purple jackets floating out there or anything
you
like
take
that.
Back. There's only one purple leather jacket.
Don't get hot, brother. Yeah, though. I don't know. It's just like, it's such a weird time for Bam Bam. It's the end of his WWF run and he's a babyface. And I don't know. I think it's real cool. So I picked it up.
Yeah. as far as like the whole reissuing figures and it losing value thing, like I'm kind of torn on it because obviously for you, if you're taking it out of the package, you don't care. You know, it's the same
Yeah,
figure, so you got the
exactly.
figure
Yep.
you want. Me as a mint on card guy, it I mean, it does benefit me if I was looking for the original, because if I was like, oh, here's this Shawn Michaels figure, and it's either you can get the ringside exclusive that came out 5 years ago, or you can get this remake that came out this week. I'd still rather the ringside exclusive because it's like the older and rarer one. So like the collector in
Sure.
me would still want the old one. But I do get the idea that like, oh man, this figure that I might have spent a bunch of money on is now being reprinted. So I see both sides of it, you know?
Yeah, I could see that strictly from a collector standpoint, but I'm not. And hey, I very rarely do mint on cards. So this Bam Bam will get busted out, and I need to go buy another D12 very bad.
You and I need to make a trip.
Dude,
Because
whenever you want, man, because I'm out of real estate.
yeah. I actually detailed this on at odds this past week that like there is
You
a
did,
corner
yes.
there's a corner of my dining room that just has like a massage chair in it that I never ever ever use. And I told this to Todd and he's like, "Well, I'll take it if you don't want it." I was like, "Yes, get it out of here. No take back, sucker." you know.
Oh, did Todd take the massage chair yet?
He will. But like once that's
I was
gone, okay.
okay. I was gonna say because we'll talk, pal.
Oh, he said he wanted it, but you know, we can talk. But
Yeah,
it's
we'll talk.
it's basically taking up space, you know, and I can put more details there. And it's always an excursion because we don't live 5 minutes from an IKEA, you know.
Oh, yep, that's the truth. They need to get an IKEA around here.
Yeah, I mean, maybe one in Wilkes-Barre or something like that, you know.
Yeah, they should.
All right, but yeah, I definitely need more real estate, and we'll have to make a DTOF run.
Hey, whenever you're ready, I'm down.
Awesome. All right, so other purchases. I made an order, and you might have seen this. I tweeted it out. I didn't save it for the show, but I went to order some Funko Pops on Funko's website, and I had already had a pre-order through Amazon of an Alexa Bliss Funko Pop, and it was like the spooky Alexa. And my apologies to the Longbox Heroes Amazon click-through, but I canceled that pre-order. And I did an order through Funko's website because I was already ordering something else. And I was like, well, if I order, a couple Alexa Blisses through Funko, I can get free shipping. And I was like, I'd have a better chance at a chase if I was getting it straight from Funko versus getting it from like a distribution center or a store, where somebody might cherry pick stuff. So I ordered 3 Alexa Bliss Funkos. And in my mind, I was like, all right, most likely I'm going to open this box and there's going to be 3 basics in here, 3 commons. So I have to mentally prepare to have to go and try to like dump 2 of them, or give 2 of them away or whatever. And the way Funko packages their stuff is you open the main box, and inside the main box, they put 2 Funkos inside of a smaller box. So you have to open up the main box, and then inside there's 2 of them if you ordered 4 stuff. Follow me so far?
Yep, I'm with you.
All right. So I opened up the first box, and I had also ordered a Squid Game, one of the soldiers from Funko. So I opened up the first box, and there was the Squid Game soldier, and there was an Alexa Bliss chase. So I was like super pumped. I was like, yes, mission accomplished. I got the chase. I'm super happy. And then I opened the other box, and there was a basic Alexa and another chase. So I got 2 chases out of 3.
Wow, look at that.
I know.
How rare does that happen?
I mean, it's never happened to me before. The chases are usually 1 per 5 or 1 out of 5. And aside from ordering Funkos from the importer exporters, where I just do the opportunity of like ordering 20 at a time and just picking the chases out of there and
Sure.
returning the rest of them. Aside from doing that to them, I had only received a chase once, and it was from Hot Topic. And that was years
Wow.
ago. So I was really pumped. I got 2 of them. I'm probably going to sell one of them in the major group. And I don't have to unload some basics. So it worked out nicely.
Dude, that's awesome that worked out that way. Good for you.
Yeah, I'm very pumped. And one more thing before I throw it over for your last purchase. I was watching the AEW pay-per-view and I opened up Facebook to see that there was a repaint of a Major Bendy featuring my legal counsel, and well, actually not yours because you have Doug, but my
I do.
legal counsel, the Smart Mark Sterling repaint, the Double or Nothing Major Bendy. So I pre-ordered that.
Yeah, man. As soon as like the match ended and yeah, I just opened my phone and it's just like boom, 48 hours only. I thought that was very smart of them. I'm not a bendy guy. I think I have like one bendy that I got from a flea market like a couple years ago.
Mhm.
But hey, you know what? If that's your guy, that's your guy. So that's cool. It's easy for them. I think it's only like print to order as well, right?
Yeah, they said like however many they order would be it, but obviously, they'll print a bunch more. Like if
Oh, sure.
if 500 fans order them, they'll do like 550 or whatever, 600 so that, Smart Mark can sell them and put them on Whatnot and all that stuff too.
Yeah, no, yeah, have to have them for the gimmick table, brother.
Yeah. As far as major bendies go, like I was not a bendy guy. Like when bendies existed, the WWF bendies,
Mhm.
I wasn't collecting at all. In fact, I didn't know they were a thing. Like when Hasbro's went away, I just thought that wrestling figures went away. And it wasn't until like the Jax figures came out, like the Bone Crunchers or whatever the first line was, that I was like, oh, they started making wrestling figures again. I'm going to buy some of these. So that entire middle era where bendies were reigning, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, I had a bunch of bendies as a kid. I feel like being a child in the 90s like I was,
Mhm.
I got kind of boned on wrestling figures.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of Hasbros. Like I remember one Christmas and it was like the best Christmas ever, just I got a bunch of Hasbros. I had like I think all the green card Hasbros, which makes me sick now that I think about it. Um but yeah, like then I ended up getting bendies and like those are whatever bone crunchers from Jax. I hated those.
Yeah.
Um, you know, even like all like the ruthless aggression ones, I hated those. I don't think I had another wrestling figure till like the classic superstars came out. And I bought it at Toys R Us years ago. It was a 2-pack of Bobby the Brain Heenan and Abe Knuckleball Schwartz.
I've seen that. I had made or I was debating on trying to become a Bobby Heenan completist, which isn't that hard. I mean, well, there's like a really rare, like a 1 in 100 Jax classic
Oof.
superstar it was actually the first Weasel suit Heenan, which
Oh,
obviously
okay.
it was later done by Target, but
Sure.
there was a super like limited for that, and I have the LJN that I got last year, not mint on card, but like
Yeah.
really mint. So I
It's
was like,
great to have.
yeah, I was like, this is doable. So I bought the Jax Classic Superstar standalone Heenan, and I saw there's like a 3-pack with Flair, Mr. Perfect, and Heenan. And then I
Yep.
saw the Knuckleball Schwartz. What an odd combination.
Dude, I remember I bought it just because I think I had like my nephew at Toys R Us or something. And I said, oh, I'll go check out the wrestling aisle. And I went and I looked and I saw it and I go, they made an Abe Knuckleball Schwartz action figure? Who greenlit this? And I bought it. And it's still one of the weirdest things that I own.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. But I don't even know how we got to Bobby Heenan, but we should stay there. But
Dude, I'll talk about Heenan all day. I love Heenan.
yeah. Oh, but just one more thing about Major Bendy's. Like I have the original 4, the Smart Mark, Broski, Hawkins, and Swoggle.
Yep.
I had sold my Swoggle to Justin Summers from Wrestling Cheers,
Yeah.
and then I was like, out of FOMO, I went and rebought another one. But so I have the original 4. I have the major moments ones, which are the ones that are absolutely definitely limited to only 150 in existence.
Oh, absolutely. That's a solid, firm number.
Yep, definitely no more. And now I have the Smart Mark repaints, and I was getting a little FOMO. Like I was like, I don't need the Conrad and the Jeff Jarrett's, but I was like, do I need the Danhausen exclusive? So I was like, should I just try to get the rare ones? And then I saw the shit with the Ric Flair one announced this past
Oh,
week.
dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm out. I'll just buy the Pod guys, and if they like maybe like the Brian Pillman, something that pops
Yep.
me individually. But I don't need to be going and trying to get everything or trying to get most things. I mean, I get it. It's like Jim Crockett Productions selling it. But yeah, no, I'm not paying no $200 for even if it's autographed, you know?
No, it's absolutely insane. It's so
Yeah.
crazy. Like, but people eat it up because one, it's Jim Crockett Promotions, and two, people love their Ric Flair, and it's autographed, I think, too, right?
Yeah, it's autographed. Like if they
Oh yeah,
sold an
not for me.
if they sold an unautographed one for like $40, $50, I wouldn't like it, but at least I'd entertain the idea, you know? But like they've priced themselves out of me even caring at this point.
Well, I'll say this: wait until after Ric Flair's last match actually happens, and wait about a week. Maybe you'll see some pop up that are extra leftovers that.
Well, you know what?
They'll just try to unload.
You know what the thing is, though, Brett, and it sucks to say this, but like wrestling figures go through the roof after somebody dies. So if you want me to wait until after Brett's
Jesus.
last match, those figures are going to be astronomically expensive.
You know what? I was thinking it, but I didn't want to say it. Oh, you're not wrong. Oh, Rick. Oh, yay. Part of me is like, do I want to watch this thing or do I want to pirate this thing?
Oh, 100% pirate. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give him any money.
No, of course not. I give Conrad enough. He gets enough from me.
There you go. All right, sir. Do you have anything else?
Yeah, man. Last thing I have, I saw somebody posted up in the major group last night. They said, "Hey, this is up on Amazon, and it's like super discounted." And I just happen to have an Amazon gift card, so I went and I got the Super 7 New Japan Pro Wrestling. I know you're the Japanese wrestling connoisseur. I bought the Evil in his Los Ingobernables de Japón gear on his crappy Bullet Club House of Torture gear that he has now. So yeah, I was like, dude, with like the gift card, I think it came out to like $8. So
nice.
I was like, dude, $8 for a Super 7. Like, yeah, let's do it. That leaves me one short of like having all the first two series. The only other one I need is Bushi, but that's like one where I'm like, if somebody wants to give it for like $15, I'll consider it.
Yeah.
Because I have all the first series, and then I have Naito and Hiromu Takahashi from the second. So yeah, with that gift card and the price being for like $8, I was like, I can't pass this up. I think I even saw Myers like comment on the same picture today. He goes, dude, saw that and that's a steal.
Yeah. I mean, those Super 7s are nice figures. There hasn't been anybody that like made me want to pull the trigger, you know, but man, if you're going to collect, you know, wrestling figures of New Japan guys, those are the ones, you know, like you can't top them.
Well, and the sad thing is, I'm pretty sure that line is dead in the water now, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because I know that they announced a while ago they were going to do a Series 3, and they announced Switchblade Jay White was going to be a part of it.
Mhm.
But I think it's just done because Super 7's production, well, you know how slow they've been. And I guess New Japan is pretty particular in what they want and kind of picky. And unfortunately, I think that's kind of done. I'd love to see Jazzwares get the license for it. That would be phenomenal for me.
Yeah. Doom in the same universe as the
my God.
AEW figs, same
Dude,
packaging with the different
Yep.
logo.
It would be a dream come true for all Japanese wrestling fans that are collectors, I think.
Can you imagine
that
same scale, the same packaging, just different logos for not only AEW, New Japan, and Ring of Honor lines?
Dude, like, I'd be in trouble. I'd be in trouble. I think the Ring of Honor line would be kind of cool once they establish what they're actually going to be, but also just do throwback Ring of Honor things like throwback Samoa Joe, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk with the basketball shorts and the blonde hair.
Yeah.
Like that'd be killer.
Yeah, no, I would definitely buy a bunch of the legends for that, you know, just go and make a Nigel McGuinness, you know.
Oh my God.
Make maybe a Claudio Castagnoli.
Maybe
Yeah.
finally give Colt Cabana a figure because they don't want to do that right now. It seems.
Yeah, I mean
Poor,
the choices are endless, so that'd be a sweet idea. All right, but I'm
yeah,
glad you got that
yeah.
deal on that.
Oh, it's like I saw it, I pounced on it. I was so happy. It's Friday.
Yeah. All right, awesome. Well, I just have one more thing, and that was an item that went up for order today, and that was the 1 in 3,000 Shop AEW exclusive Kenny Omega figure.
You pulled the trigger on that, huh?
I pulled the trigger. So I knew that it was coming. I had the Jericho. Like I bought two of the Jerichos when they first went up, and I flipped the second one for basically more than the two of them cost. So I basically got a free Jericho out of the deal, So I was like, well, I'm going to do the same thing with the Omega. I'm going to buy two of them. I'm going to sell one of them, and I'm going to, pay for the one that I'm keeping. So I knew that the business model was looking like they were going to release the week after the pay-per-views, because that's when the Jericho came out after the last pay-per-view. And I know that they were selling this Omega at FanFest. So I was like, okay, it's only a matter of time. So I set my my Twitter alerts to like Shop AEW, like, hey, when they tweet something, just alert me. So I got the alert. I jumped in the queue. And like within 2 minutes, I got to the front, but it was limit one per customer, which was actually a different change. So I ordered one, and I think they were like $5 more expensive than the Jerichos. So I ordered one. I was like, all right, whatever. I just wanted one for myself. Went about my business. Like an hour later, I actually saw your co-host talking in the major group saying that they were still available. And I was like, that can't be right. So I jumped in the queue again, and it said that there was like a minute remaining, and then it let me let me get to the checkout for the other one. So old Mama Van Volkenberg will be getting a Kenny Omega arriving at her house. Basically with one of them I used my PayPal, and the other one I used my credit card. So it looks like Pro Wrestling Tees will be taking my identity as well.
Boy, wow, what a gamble that was. Boy,
Yeah.
you have ice in your veins to use your credit card on that website.
Yeah, so I was like, I got to mix it up because I was like, the one of them's under my name, my email address, my physical address, and I was like, the other one's got to be a different address, different name, different email. But I was like, oh, I only have one PayPal. So I bought another one. I don't expect to make a windfall of money on it. Honestly, best case scenario, I might hold this one in case I miss out on the upcoming Moxley one, and just use it as a trade.
Smart.
Because I
always use it as a trade bait. Yep, I agree.
Yeah, because I mean, there's three of them in this series. Omega, Jericho, and Mox. I want all three of them, and whatever. That's the way I'm going to do it. So I'm happy that I managed to get two. And then they did sell out maybe a couple minutes after I got my second one.
Hey, that's smart. Opportunity always knocks, my friend.
Yeah. All right. Well, Brett, that is kind of the end of the show, but I say kind of because I do have one other weekly purchase.
Okay.
And
I'm curious.
This is something that I'm going to send to you in a picture, but I'm not going to reveal what it is until At Odds with Wrestling this week. This is what we call a tease in the business. But
you're setting me up here.
But I want to just get your reaction and just do your best to kind of like let me know your thoughts without actually spoiling what it is. But if you do let something slip, I'll learn how to beep something out on the old ringtone maker. All right, so I'm shooting it over to you via text message.
All right, my phone. I'm waiting here with anticipation.
Yeah.
What do we got? What do we got? Oh, me. Oh, my. Adam.
That's your big boy purchase.
Wow. You weren't kidding, man. Whoa. Where?
I got it in the group, in the Facebook group.
Really? Oh, my heavens, dude.
Yeah. So
this is crazy.
Somebody put one up in the group. and two people claimed it. Well, actually, two people were like, "Oh, I'm DMing you. I'm DMing you." And I messaged the guy. I was like, "Hey, man, did either of those people claim that?" And the guy said, "Well, one of them did, but I have two of them." And I said,
Ooh,
"Well,
opportunity.
can you show me photos of the one I would be getting? Because I want to see the exact one that I'm getting." So he's like,
Yep.
"Yep, no problem." And he sent me like 10 photos of it from every single angle. And sometimes these figures are very condition sensitive in certain areas. And even those areas on this item were perfect. So I think this is like a very good specimen. If you're going to get this item, this is a very good one. And let's just hope the person ships it because I paid him friends and family.
Dude, I'm blown away. I'm wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Wow,
Thank
dude. Oh my. That might be the new crown jewel of your collection.
Oh, thank you. Yep. I'm looking forward to
Wow.
getting it. I was hoping to reveal it when it's in hand, but I think that this is a good opportunity. Oh, there's that word again. To just basically reveal it on at odds. And that way I'll have something saved for the
Yeah.
standard old weekly purchases segment.
Whew, I'm blown away. Wow, good for you, man. That's crazy.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I'm
Oh my
glad you are reacting to it as I had hoped. But
Dude, my jaw dropped when that picture came through. That's crazy.
awesome.
Wow.
Well, Brett, thank you very much for coming on Weekly Porchases. Where can people find you if they want to reach out or talk sports or listen to your wrestling talk?
Well, you can reach me at 570-89. Oh, no, not my personal number. Okay. On Twitter at BrettXEdge570. Talk to me about, I don't know, mostly just wrestling and sometimes music and how the Philadelphia Phillies are an absolute dumpster fire, even though they won tonight. Whoopity doo. What else could you talk? Talk to me. Give it a little bit of time. We're sliding the DMs if you want to talk to me about Stranger Things. For those of you who have finished it, did you watch it yet, Adam?
I did. I finished all of it because again, I have nothing but time now, Brett. So like, I finished it within 24 hours.
All right, good. We'll talk off air. I finished it at like 5 a.m. on Sunday morning.
Nice.
Wowza. But yeah, other than that, you could check me out on We Need Wrestling. It's a fun wrestling show on the soon-to-be named network. My co-host DJ, we just kind of run down everything we watched during the week. You know, sometimes there's some news. Sometimes if the week is light, we watch. We have like a watch list that we do. I know right now we've been watching the New Japan Best of the Super Juniors. Are you excited for the finals on Friday morning, Adam?
You know what? Absolutely. I will be there watching those competitors compete in the finals at that time.
I was saying, who do you have winning it?
I'm gonna go with the baby face. You know who I mean. You know who I
Yeah, of
mean.
course. Yeah, of course. Yes. You totally meant her. You meant Hiromu Takahashi, right?
Yeah. Thank you. That's exactly who I meant.
Also, you can find me on another show on the soon-to-be-named network, Wings on Wings, where we eat chicken wings and put on a bunch of hot sauces while reviewing the hit 90s television sitcom Wings. What a pleasure that's been to watch. Oh boy. You want to talk about a show of shows, you want to talk about a trendsetter in American sitcoms and comedy in general. That's right, Wings.
It's a fun listen. I can tell you that as somebody who listens to the show, and I'm not even doing a work here. I listened to the show just today. It's more listening to you guys react to the wing sauce and just basically listen to Michelle just shower Joe Sposto with praise. It's got a little bit of
Joe
everything.
Sposto's perfect.
Yeah,
She said he's perfect. But yeah, on there, it's DJ, Michelle, and my lawyer, my spiritual guider, my financial advisor, the one, the only, Doug.
Awesome. So
So
yeah,
it's a fun time. It's fun to record. Where can they find you, Adam?
Oh, well, I don't do the Twitter handles because people gave up on following me a long time ago. So just go and listen to Porch Talk wherever it's available and At Odds with Wrestling. And this is obviously a militant offshoot of At Odds, weekly purchases. I hope to do it again with you, Brett, down the road. Maybe
Absolutely,
bring DJ
man.
on, tell him to hoard some purchases and have him come on. And I'd invite Todd, but he doesn't like no wrestling figs.
Oh, that's upsetting. Listen, he likes wrestling. Figs are next.
Yes, exactly. All right, sir. Well, go ahead.
Nope. I was gonna say, when's this gonna come out? Is this gonna come out before this weekend?
This will hit the air probably tonight. As soon as I'm done the extensive editing and production work that goes into an episode of Porch Talk.
Well, I know that this Friday and Saturday I'm going to be at the Mahoning Drive in Lehighton, Pennsylvania for LVAC Real Rumble. Will you be, Adam?
I too will be there. And this, you know what? I can preview a weekly purchase from next week. I am already in contacts with the manager to the Star, Sidney Bacabella, and I am buying his brand new shirt. He actually told me I'm the first person to order one, and I'll be getting that.
Look at that.
So,
dude, his shirts are real cool, but he hustled me real hard last year for a poster. So, still a little mad at Mr. Bacabella, even though he is my favorite former WWF Hall of Famer.
Yeah, 2-time Hall of Famer. So,
yes, pardon me.
Hopefully, when he's off ripping a heater to the side, I can get a mark photo with him without him carneying me out of a lot of money.
You got to pay up, brother.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, Brett. Well, thank you for coming on this episode of Porch Talk Presents Weekly Purchases. It's been a blast. And until next time, everybody, buy a bunch of stuff. Don't worry about your bank accounts. Don't worry about debt. You'll pay it off eventually. Goodbye. That's my new sign off.
You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of Podcast Network.